First thing I'd like to do is everybody stand up. Over here too, come on, let's stand up. I want you to give yourself a big hand for being here. And seriously, really. It took a lot of effort and a lot of time out of your practice and your life to be here, and I am just pumped because you are about to embark on a journey you will never regret. It's exciting, it's fun, and just fantastic. And I really hope you embrace this because I've been a user for a couple years now, and it has changed the way that I practice, and it will change the way you practice, and you will think, how did I ever practice differently? So thank you for being here. Have a seat. I would also like to say a thank you to two very, very important people in my life. One is my mentor from way back in dental school at Baylor, Howard Freisch. Dr. Freisch, would you stand up, please? This man believed in me from day one, and he has been my biggest supporter, and he's like family to me. He is family to me. The second one is Gary Severance, who everybody knows now. Gary believed in me too, and I have just, when I came down to D4D to go through a preview day, I mean, it took me 10 minutes to make a decision. I mean, I was just like giddy. I mean, I was like a boy in a candy store, I mean, it was fantastic. So it's just been a wonderful thing for me. This morning, you've heard a lot of things about the technical side of it, some of which may be a little confusing, some not. It may throw some things in your mind, but you know as well as I do. I mean, I've been in practice almost 23 years now. And you know, what good is a piece of equipment if you can't integrate it in your practice, if you can't make it work, if you can't get your team behind it? I mean, what good does all that do, right? So what I want to do today is I want to give you what I consider some success strategies for incorporating this into your practice. There are as many ways to practice dentistry as there are dentists. So there is not one way to do it. There are some dentists that they prep the tooth and walk away, and they come back when it's ready to cement. And then there are dentists like me who I just love playing with it. I mean, it's fun, and so I do it myself, But it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of ways to do it. But to actually make this profitable and fun for your practice, I really need you to know that there's this other side of it, the implementation and things that you've got to do with your team and where your head's got to be and all sorts of things like that. So those are some of the things that I'd like to review with you. Gary mentioned as a coach, I see practices in all different kinds of scenarios. Some of these practices, need a lot of help with leadership and systems, and it's basic business stuff. So I would encourage you, don't look. This is very important. I think as dentists, sometimes when our practice is ailing, we think, well, if we just go buy this piece of equipment, it's going to make our practice all of a sudden be really successful. I've never really seen that happen because it's really the people and the relationship side that is so important. And I'm going to come back to relationship. You've heard it mentioned a few times. Relationship is everything. And so I'm going to hit that with a strategy here in just a minute. Now, I want to ask you a couple questions. We can't really interact, but I just want you to answer for yourself. Are you frustrated with decreased profits? Are you frustrated with increasing overhead? Are you maybe frustrated that sometimes things that you get back from the lab aren't right, and God, you've taken the temporary off and you put it on and things aren't right, and the lab did a good job because it fit the model, but then you got to go back and start over, and what a waste of time. I mean, do you get frustrated with getting the team motivated and excited about coming to work and getting them involved, getting your assistant to do more than just, suck spit, right? I mean, are you frustrated with that sort of stuff? The other thing I would ask you is, are you really ready to do better, healthier dentistry? I mean, one of the things that you know that I did for 20 years, like you, is we made temporaries. We put those on, and sometimes you took those temporaries off, and it really stunk, right? Not very healthy, and a lot of those teeth ultimately turned into endo teeth. This type of dentistry will allow you to do same day, in my case, and in many of your cases eventually, it's going to be the same appointment dentistry. Dr. Santini talked about, you know, just being able to do things for people, and I cannot tell you how many opportunities I've had to get people out of huge jams, and you know, they are patients for life, and they will tell everybody about that. So it is just a wonderful thing to do. It is literally a paradigm shift in dentistry, and you are here and you are on the cutting edge of that, and you should be congratulated, which is why I wanted you to applaud yourself. So when I was actually getting ready to make this presentation, I was look for some words of wisdom, and Horace said, whatever advice you give, be brief. Well, I'm going to be brief, and I'm going to get to the point today. I know that tummies are starting to growl, and I'm going to finish early, so that's the good thing. Then I found this other piece of advice which says, be frank and explicit. That is the right line to take when you wish to conceal your own mind and confuse the mind of others. I'm not going to do that. But the thing that was a little bit disheartening says, never give advice in a crowd. So I'm going to try to avoid that, but obviously I have to, because I'm talking to you about my experiences as well as some success strategies. Now, let me go over what I consider the most important things as I've looked at practices and talked to doctors, and I've been coaching dentists. I'm one of about 5 or 6 professionally trained coaches, personal and business coaches in the U.S. who are also practicing dentists. And so I get to, you know, I have the privilege of getting inside the doctors' heads a lot, okay? And so what I see, the things that can really happen, I have seen doctors get this piece of technology and not be able to implement in their practice, and that's a huge disaster, because this technology works. It works beautifully well. I mean, it's incredible what you're going to do. You know, if you're kind of a gadget guy like me, you're just going to be giddy. I mean, it is so fun. It's not hard to learn. They will train you, and there's ongoing training that goes along with that. So the first thing I really want to talk about, though, before I go any further, is a disclaimer, and I think it's important that you guys know this, is that I'm not an employee of D4D, okay? I have no stock in the company. I'm telling you from my experience, and I'm going to be myself. I'll be around all day today. I'll be at the Build a Crown workshop. I've got my card if you just want to talk to me about something private. Just find me, okay? I'm very accessible. I will always tell you my truth, okay? So I just want to let that be known. So I consider what I call these top 10 success strategies. The first thing is teamwork, and you say, well, yeah, of course that's what's going to happen. Well, that is really the case with this system, is that it's going to take the whole team from the front office all the way through your assistants. You know, it's a different way of practicing dentistry. So it takes some planning and expertise in what you do. You've got to put some thought into it. You can't just say, okay, we got this thing in the office, now we're going to do crowns with this. No, it takes more than that. And what you really want to do is engage your team. You know, my team was so excited when it came to the office. They were telling everybody. And I would hope that you can get your team involved in that same sort of way. For true success to happen, you know, there's, I think, some important questions to ask. And it's important for your team, too. The first question is, you know, why? The second question is, why not? And the third question is, why not me? And the fourth question is, why not now? I mean, what's holding you back? So if we can really get to that core of that, to get you over that hump and experiencing what awaits you, I mean, that is liberating in your practice. That is so liberating. And it's liberating for your team. It's hard to build excitement, you all know, because you kind of do the same things day in, day out. Things like this don't come along many times in our careers. And this is a total blast to do. The next thing is about 100% commitment. And I don't want shortcuts to mastery yet. I want to go back to the other one, 100% commitment. You know, 99% commitment doesn't work. 98 doesn't work. 100% works. It's been said that anything worth doing is worth 100%. And so what I observe when doctors get involved in this system is that they come in